Yep, Bay, that fixes the confusion. There is no separate back row. There are 5 main lanes, and each main lane can hold a 2-card stack. Lane 1. Front card plus 1 card tucked behind lane 2. Front plus behind lane 3. Front plus behind lane 4. Front plus behind lane 5. Front plus behind, so the battlefield shows 10 cards maximum across the 5 mains, but mechanically it is still only 5 positions. The rear card should be physically offset upward about 25 to 30% so you can still see its title, realm, rarity, but it stays attached to that main position. It is not targetable as a separate lane unless a card specifically says it can hit a stacked card. I'd lock the behavior like this. The front card is the active fighter. The card behind it is the stacked support card. If the front card dies or leaves, the rear card can slide forward into the main position instead of creating some goofy 6th through 10th lane. That also makes animations way cleaner. And our wording needs fixing everywhere. Delete, back row. Anything I made saying, enemy back row, should become something like, stacked enemy cards, enemy stacks, or, all 5 enemy mains, depending on the effect. So visually the table should be 1 front, behind, 2 front, behind, 3 front, behind, 4 front, behind, 5 front, behind. Then the separate god, potion, twist, giant, behemoth, graveyard zones can sit outside those 5 mains without becoming extra combat lanes. That's much cleaner. 5 lanes. 2 deep stacks. 10 battlefield cards. No back row rule at all. Show me them and a Synergy card SWEP of A20CARD battle simulation to show SYNEGERY and endgame in under 5.15 minutes, any longer Bordium sets in Yep Bay. This is the kind of 20-card battle test I want us using before we approve hundreds of cards. 3 stats maximum, every card has a job, Resi actually matters, and the match is designed to finish around 7 to 11 minutes instead of becoming a damn board meeting. I'm treating number 11 Perfection as the known card. The other names below are simulation IDs only, not permanent master numbers yet. Our existing design brief already requires enabler right pointing arrow payoff right pointing arrow answers and at least 2 meaningful counters for major synergy packages, while avoiding loops, permanent locks, free resource nonsense, and raw stat inflation. 20CARD Synergy Sweep ID card type cost ATK HP power number 11 Perfection Heaven character 7/7/8 on play. Resi 1 cost 4 or less character into an open main. If you already used Resi this battle, Perfection gets +2 AK this turn. H02 Lantern Saint character 2/2/3 when defeated, your next Resi costs 1 less. H03 Dawnshield Paladin character 3/3/4 when reseed, restore 2 realm HP. H04 Mercy Vanguard character 4/4/5 when an ally RESIs, this gets +1 AK this turn. H05 Halo Warden character 5/5/6 first ally Resi this battle returns with +2 HP. H06 Second Chance Resi spell 3, Resi a cost 3 or less character with 1 HP into an open main. H07 Heaven's Recall spell 3, move 1 character from tombstones back to your hand. H08 Grail of Return Treasure 4, once per battle, a defeated ally returns to your hand instead of tombstones. H09 Radiant Mend spell 2, restore 4 HP. Restore 6 instead if the character was reseed. H10 Judgment of Dawn spell 4, deal 4 damage to a character. Deal 6 if it defeated one of your reseed characters. D01 Gravewatch Captain character 3/3/4 enemy Resi costs +1 while this survives. D02 Ash Reaper character 4/5/3 gets +1 AK when attacking a reseed character. D03 Tomseal Priest character 2/2/3 on play, choose 1 enemy tombstones character. It cannot Resi until your next turn. D04 Dreadhound character 3/4/3 deals +1 damage to characters that return from tombstones. D05 Knight Bastion character 5/4/7 the first damage this takes each turn is reduced by 1. D06 Gravelock counter spell 2, cancel 1 Resi. If none is attempted this turn, you may instead give a main character +1 HP. D07 Soul Break spell 3, deal 3 damage, deal 5 to a reseed character. D08 Black Reliquary Treasure 4, enemy characters returning from tombstones return with 2 fewer HP. D09 Final Silence spell 5, opponent cannot Resi during the next turn. D10 Umbral Behemoth character 7/8/8 costs 1 less after the opponent has successfully reseed twice this battle. No character has more than cost ATK HP. Spells and treasures don't get fake 0/0 garbage, they simply show cost because that's all they need. Fast battle rules for this TEST3 main slots 1 Tombstones Zone 1 Treasures slot. Each player gets 10 cards, opens with 3, and has 12 realm HP. Start at 2 energy, gain plus. Yep Bay, the simulation worked well as a first design stress test, with one important correction. It was a hand-run battle scenario, not yet a randomized 101,000th game computer simulation. Using the corrected language, 3 main tombstones treasures recall, the test ended at about 10 minutes, turn 8, right in your 5 to 15 minute target. The synergy chain actually behaved nicely. Character defeated right pointing arrow tombstones right pointing arrow recall enabler right pointing arrow character returns right pointing arrow recall payoff triggers right pointing arrow boss endgame pressure. The opposing deck had real answers instead of just sitting there. It could delay recall, punish return characters, or save a counter for the big payoff. That meant the Heaven-style deck won the sample, but it wasn't an automatic win. Best part, there was no infinite loop, no permanent lock, no giant pile of extra stats, and no game dragging past 15 minutes. So that first pass is a pass conceptually. What I want next is the real torture test, 20 card decks, hundreds or thousands of automated battles, measuring average game length, win rate, recall frequency, dead cards, runaway combos, and how often games exceed 15 minutes. That will tell us whether the rules actually hold up instead of just looking good on paper. Yep, Bay, the simulation worked well as a first design stress test, with one important correction. It was a hand-run battle scenario, not yet a randomized 101,000th game computer simulation. For Card Realm itself, Bay, I'd lock it like this, 20 cards per player. That's the sweet spot for your 5 to 15 minute battle goal with only 3 main slots plus tombstones plus treasures. A 1v1 match therefore needs 40 physical cards total, but they do not all have to be unique. For the playable master pool, we do not need 1,000 plus cards just to make the game work. I'd build toward 80 unique cards equals minimum solid game, enough for roughly 4 distinct 20 card strategies. 120 unique cards equals ideal first complete release, about 6 real archetypes with counters and crossover synergy. 200 to 300 unique cards equals deep collectible game with substantial deck building variety. Beyond that is expansion territory, not something we need before the core game is fun. The old Card Realm brief supports this approach. It says every major archetype needs enablers, payoffs, and answers. Tutorial decks must work without edge case overload. And we should create the smallest possible number of new cards needed to close gameplay gaps rather than stuffing the game with filler. So my number for us right now is 120 clean unique playable cards. Audit the artwork we already made, keep the strongest 120-ish that actually work together, then only create cards for genuine missing synergies, counters. And deck size equals 20. I would not go 40 to 60 card decks with this board. That starts fighting your short match goal. Bay, load those trophy, rank icons into the new deck keeper app, not into the bank card catalog card collection. The bank entities I check for your actual card catalog ownership records. The trophies are UI, progression assets and should stay separate. Use one PNG per rank, preferably transparent background, and name and theme. Silver.png, gold.png, platinum.png, ruby.png, topaz.png, sapphire.png, emerald.png, pearl.png, diamond.png, black diamond.png, nova electria.png, in base 44. Put them in the deckkeeper app's assets, media, uploads area. If we're wiring them directly in code, I'll keep them under something like public, assets, ranks. Then I can map them to level unlocks, purchase unlocks, trophies, store rewards, and max rank progression without touching or replacing with home card function. And yes, make the rest to symbols like the silver one.